Nice to meet you. I'd love to hear more about you. What's alive for
Nice
you
to
right
meet.
now?
I'm from Barcelona. I'm calling you from Barcelona, Spain,
Beautiful.
and I run into your meetings in TikTok. You know, and it provoked, a pretty stormy weather in this system, right? Because I've been a seeker all my life,
Yeah. Tell me about that.
Uh, yes, and what triggered the seeking was that when I was 14, more or less, I was having very deep depressions, right? And my motivation for the seeking was just to get rid of these depressions because it became a very regular thing in my as a teenager and later on. And I was desperately looking for a salvation for this poor soul. And then I went to psychologist, psychiatrist. Nothing changed. Depressions came back uh, permanently, on a regular basis. And then I thought, well, maybe it's spirituality, right? And then meditation. I did the whole thing until I arrived to Advaita, right, the non-dual perspective, and I went to see Rupert Spira. Do you know him?
Yeah.
Rupert Spira, and then all the books from Ramana Maharshi, Nisargadatta, Ramesh Balsekar, all, and then I met Papaji's wife, right? Her
Yes.
name is
Yes. What is it?
Ganga Mira, and
Gangamera.
she was
Yeah.
living. Yes, he was in France first, and me and my sister went to France, stayed there for a few days, talking to her. Nothing changed. Then I went to Portugal to see Muji, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
You know Muji?
Mount
Yeah, I
Sahaja.
did the
Yeah.
whole cycle of the whole supermarket, right? I bought everything.
Yeah.
I was desperate for a way out of this nightmare, right?
Yeah.
And I was with Muji for almost a month, in a silence retreat.
Wow.
It was awful, and everything changed when I heard about a guy called Paul Heatherman. Paul Heatherman.
Hmm.
He's the one who uh, prevent me about the seeking. Right? He said, there is no way out from the place you're trying to get out. Is more in. Right? I
Hmm.
mean, I'm using the mind to get rid of the mind, so it's a dead end, right? There's no way out, and that stopped the seeking, but it didn't, it stopped the mind for a while, but the mind was coming back, and the depressions were coming back. So, and and a few weeks ago, when I heard your message, that it was very radical, right? I mean that there was no rope to to hang on, and it was a free fall, right? And there were a few sentences of yours that really, it was like a hacker, that entered my mind, like that that provoked like uh, something that I had the feeling that after hearing this message from different people and for so many years, uh, it was the first time that it was not the mind who was he was that was hearing this. It's like in the like a Death Star in the War of Galaxies, right? The Death Star of the mind. All the defenses, that message went across the defenses of the mind, and it was heard from a different place, and that provoked like an avalanche of peace. You know, it was like something very heavy. You know, uh, came upon uh, the system, and I felt that, and after that I felt that like the whole system was rewiring. You know, it was like reverse engineering, right? That
Yeah.
it went the other way around, and and I think that for the first time in my life, I saw what you say all the time. I mean, you are not what you think you are, right? I mean, it's just an idea. Like Ramana Maharshi said, like the first thought is I, right? That's the root, and that's the basis for all the other thoughts. And I think it was the first time I saw the guy as a thought from a
Yeah.
distant place, unknown, and that was not me, right? I could, like sitting in a movie theater, right? That seeing the movie from outside the movie, sitting somewhere out there, back there, and the movie, and you as an actor of the movie is seen outside yourself. I don't know how to describe this, but it felt I experienced such a relaxation because I was not aware of the weight, the incredible weight that we support every day, thinking that we are what what we are not, right? So
Yeah.
seeing yourself from what you are to what you're not is, and then what you're not is taken more real in a much more relaxed way, right? Like the action of the action figure is not, you just go with him, do the chores, do the all the things that you have to do every day. But what really surprised me was the clarity of the mind, the vision, right? That I come from and I it was just a month away back that I was having a very deep depression, unable to do anything. I mean, my depressions were not like a regular depression that you take some pills and you start feeling better. I mean, no pills on this earth could really do anything for me. The psychologists couldn't do anything for me. The psychiatrics, when I was falling into these deep depressions, when they were giving me stronger pharmacs and pills, but nothing changed. It's something that I had to experience painfully, and so from these deep depressions, I mean, you have no clarity, right? It's just a chaos, and like my friend used to say, it's like dancing with a gorilla. You know, the dance doesn't stop when you want; it stops when the gorilla wants to stop it, right? So I was in the hands of a gorilla for a month or 2 months, dancing at the pace of the gorilla, right? And no clarity at all. And it surprised me how this clarity came upon, and and it seems that this clarity is like the guru, right? Like a force that you follow, and the action figure follows this guidance of the non-self, right? And the self goes along, right? And and then it was very, very interesting to see how the separate self, right, tried and a last move to convince you that
Yeah.
you are that, and the voice in my head start telling me, oh, what a piece, this is just incredible, it's so beautiful and such, right? And I, I'm used to have this incredible negative mind, talking to me loudly, right, and incessantly, and all of a sudden wanted to be my friend. This voice wanted to be my friend and talking to me, how great you are, what a beautiful piece you are experiencing, and so on and so forth, right? But uh, uh, it was bothering me, this voice, because it kind of it was popping up and distracted me from. It was like trying to catch you, trying to sell you a new self, right? Until I saw it, and I said, "Well, this is the same voice disguised as a positive." uh, he was.
Yeah.
I felt it was the last attempt from
Yeah.
the mind to sell you the product, right? For you to buy it, and but I didn't buy it. I was just a little bit shocked when it appeared, but I said, "Oh wow, this is just the mind, right? Disguised in a different robe, right?" And I discarded that, and it just lasted a few days. And then another thing that happened that I really want to check with you is that, for example, there was a night that I was so awake, that I couldn't sleep. I couldn't sleep. So I slept like 3 hours and wake up and around noon I start feeling like tired, and because I didn't rest it enough, and I was not feeling that clarity so much, and I start worrying about that. Oh, I'm losing the clarity, you know, the
Yeah.
voice again.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
I'm losing the clarity. Yesterday was so clear, and the day before yesterday, and um, and I thought about you, right? That I heard you many times that this is what is happening now, right? And no fixation, right? This is happening now. In 2 hours time, it changes. I mean that you cannot cling to anything that's happening outside, right? Just to kind of abide in this other thing, no matter what, right? And I saw that also, that okay, it's you feel this clarity, but maybe you get sick, or maybe you didn't sleep enough, and that can be. I mean, these are the facts, right? In present time, and instead of worrying about them, you just keep abiding in that in that and not giving that much attention to whatever is happening because it's out of control, right? You get sick, you get a flu, you didn't sleep enough, whatever life brings. And the other thing that I thought about you because I in these depressions, I had suicidal thoughts, right? Suicidal. It was such, I mean, such a nightmare that I just wanted to get rid of myself. I couldn't stand it anymore. And then when all this happened, is I thought about you because all of a sudden you see the miracle of life, right? All of a sudden you are part of the show, right? And and everything is available to you when before it was it was just the scenery of a nightmare, right? Hell, it was hell,
Yeah.
uh, and this miracle of life is what else do you want, right? More than that, right? I mean, all of a sudden, the dogs and the little children and the whole thing is, but it's seen from a different perspective, right? It's not personal that you and the others, you and this you seems to be weakened, you know, weakened. And when I see it popping up, or I let it do its thing, right? But I keep going back to this, right? It's just a thought. It's just a thought, another thought, and another thought, and but this thing remains silent behind, right? And and I cannot be more happy, than that. I didn't know that life could be such a beautiful experience when this I disappears, right? No, not disappears. It's just that you don't pay attention to it anymore, and you just let let it do its thing, right? Go shopping, go to the supermarket, cooking this and that, and as I said, uh, what triggered all this thing was, I was listening to you, and some of these missiles, went through the mind defenses, because
Yeah.
I have a very strong mind, and and I understood what it means to understand this message with the mind. That it sounds very promising, right? From the mind, wow, this is it. There's something in you that recognizes that truth. But the other thing is when this message goes through the defenses of the mind and it hits the bullseyes, right?
Yeah.
And all of a sudden everything stops, and I experience it almost physically.
Yeah.
That this piece falling over my head, and like the end of a lifelong storm.
Yeah.
And I felt the relief, right? Oh my God, what an incredible weight I was supporting. And as I said, these depressions were killing me, and I'm sure, well, I hope I can be in touch with you uh, in the long run, right? Because I know that this cycle of depressions have been on and off all my life, and from this point of view now, because it seems that the paradigm, I don't know if that's English, paradigm or well, the
Paradigm. Yeah.
see, yes, it's change, right? I mean, now
Yeah.
the rules are the opposite of what used to be. I'm adjusting to this. As I said, it's like a rewiring of the whole system. And um, and and the other day I was thinking, maybe next week you fall into a deep depression again, right? I cannot guarantee that that's not going to happen, and I'm just uh, kind of curious about how will I experience this depression from this point, right? Because if the depression comes, hopefully I would treat it differently, right? Like something happening to the body mind organism, and hopefully not losing sight of what you really are, and allowing this depression to have its moment, right, and its place. And but I'm not. I mean, from what I'm feeling right now, it seems impossible, to go into depression, experiencing such a down to earth joy.
Yeah. Like you can't
It,
unsee it. Once you've seen it, you can't unsee it.
that's what I'm wondering. It's too strong to forget about this, but you never know, right? Maybe because I know, as I told you, the gorilla, the
Yeah.
depression, the gorilla is very strong, and when it comes with all its might, right?
Right, right.
But wait and see, right? I mean, I'm just enjoying the present moment, and I feel like every day, I feel like there's no seeking, there's no other place to go than right here, right now. But there is like an intimation with that, you know. I'm
Intimacy?
getting,
Do you mean?
yeah,
Yeah.
intimacy, like in
Yeah.
getting more intimate
Like
with,
close.
exactly,
Yeah.
with that, right? I mean, because it's such a different perspective from all that you have done all your life, and your opinions, your ideas of yourself, uh, and all of a sudden you feel like a newborn child, right?
Yeah.
In the
Yeah.
world, and you have to relearn everything from scratch, right? It's like, okay, now how I live my life, right? This every day now, it's fresh, right?
Yeah.
You enjoy the freshness, that the real freshness, that it's not yours, right? It's not produced by you. You don't want to retain it. You don't want to control it, right? And what really took my attention also, the lack of control. It's like you surrender completely to life, and there is
Yeah.
a trust that it's not personal. And it reminded me what Nisargadatta used to say, that they someone asked him, I mean, Master, how do you live your life generally? And he said, I live like a corpse thrown to the Ganges, like a corpse
Yeah.
thrown to the Ganges, like
Mhm.
absolutely dead. I mean, the action figure is totally dead, and they're only the hashes of that. And the river takes you wherever wants to take you. I mean, there's no resistance,
Yeah.
and you never know what's going to happen the next day. And that's thrilling, because before it was a matter of controlling the days, the hours, the minutes, what's going to happen emotionally, mentally, and now it's freedom, right? I mean, it's like you don't. It's not that you don't care, but it's not of your business, right?
Yeah.
Whatever life uh, brings, and I'm in this process of adjusting, adjusting to this new playbook, right? That is
Wow.
totally new for me, and you have been a very important part of this, because I even wrote down a few sentences of you, that because I didn't want to forget it, you know. Uh, and that's what provoked this avalanche. I don't know how to describe it better, but it's like an avalanche that all of a sudden, I never, to tell you the truth, never understood what the some masters said, that I mean, this is for not for your mind, right? This has to go through your mind, and it has a totally different flavor, and it's a different, totally different ball game, right?
Yeah. It's so direct, right? It's just, let me
Yeah,
show you. Let me show you exactly what it is that you're looking for. Because it's so simple
yeah,
and it makes sense why the truth is simple, right? What was
yeah.
it that, do you remember what it was that really cleared you up?
Um, I have it in the other, in
It's
the
okay.
other. Um, I,
Uh,
I, next time we meet, I'll tell you.
yeah.
Um,
So how long were you
um,
seeking for?
well, I remember
How long ago were you 14? Oh,
all my
yeah.
life. Well, I'm 62 now. Can you imagine?
Wow. Okay. So
So, and when
47
the all the
years. I
yes,
think
at
that's my
least
record right now. I had a 35 year
you're right.
seeker.
Yeah.
I cleared up, but yeah, you're my record so far.
Okay. Yeah, I was desperate to tell you the truth. Desperate, desperate. And a friend of mine made me laugh because he said, the value of the spiritual seeking, it's failure. You know, it's failure.
Right.
You
Yeah.
know, you just have one failure after another failure after another failure
Yep.
until you surrender.
Yep.
You arrive to Trina or whoever can offer the stop of the seeking and the humility to recognize that you have failed. All your great spiritual aspirations are burned,
Yeah.
and nothing worked. Your meditation courses, your intensives, your everything. I spent all my money in this. I, I
Yeah.
even ended up with Scientology.
Yeah.
Scientology. Yeah. Can you imagine how desperate I was? I was going to Orlando. They have these retreats for 4 weeks, and they're very, very skillful, right? Tricking the mind. They make you do some exercises every day, so to to distract your mind, to keep you busy with your mind, in the
Yeah.
present moment. And one day after another, it seems to be working because all of a sudden you start feeling better, and after 1 week and or 2 weeks or 3 weeks, you think, okay, this is over, and I feel great, and the depression is gone. But I remember, uh, uh, flowing. Uh, let's see, when I was coming back to Barcelona, you know, with flying over to Barcelona, in the middle of that flight, that all my well-being was gone by the window.
Oh
Just
no.
3 months, $3,000 gone
Wow.
before I touched down in Barcelona. So it was. Now I see it, and no regrets, right? I mean, uh, the mind is such a stubborn entity, right? That you just, I mean, some people need more time, some other people need less time, but now that I see it from behind or whatever, it seems that uh, it's very easy, as you said, but for the mind, it's very difficult. It's very difficult. It's almost impossible to imagine that there is life beyond mind, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So, yeah, I feel very fortunate, in spite of all the things, of the difficult times and depressions, but maybe it was necessary just to bring you to your knees and surrender, right?
Yeah.
Because the mind is stubborn, and it's very proud of itself, right? It's very proud
Yeah.
of its ideas, its
Yeah.
concepts, this and that. And the mind doesn't know humility, right?
Yeah.
Humility. Do you understand
Yeah.
humility?
Yeah, yeah. It
Yeah,
wants to claim ownership. It wants to take
yes,
responsibility for the
yeah,
reputation, for how other people see it, for the validation it
yeah,
receives, right? It's all
yeah.
so
It's not
personally focused. It's all just me, me, me. And then it's entangled in the nervous
exactly.
system. So it concocts this brilliant illusion,
Yeah,
right? It's very well
right,
played, like when you see what's actually going on.
right. Yeah,
You
it's
know?
and it's not humble, humble,
No,
humble.
no.
No,
Yeah.
humble. And I think now it's the first time in my life that I know about being humble. You know, being
Wow.
humble as a basis of your life. You know, it's that it's a very comforting zone, right? To be right.
Right.
To
Right. Because it's like,
just
how else? I mean, you recognize that you're like part of that that you are a miracle. You don't know how you got here.
right,
There's nothing to know. There's nothing to
right,
learn. There's no ownership. Those are all concepts, right? The mind can't grasp onto anything and claim it for itself because there's just no center. There's just no one in control that's doing any of it. It's just playing before us, just this dance
okay,
of opposites.
yes, yes, yeah. It seems like you're, but for me, it's like this. I see like a past life, event before this.
Yeah,
I see backwards, and it seems like a dream, you know,
yeah,
like
yeah,
in my case, it was a nightmare, not even a
yeah.
dream, right? But
Wow.
you just look back and you see an action figure uh, looking desperately for a way out of that nightmare. Like,
Yeah,
but the more I wanted to get out, the more I was in,
yeah,
the more in, the more out wants the mind to go. The out it's an in, right?
yeah,
The
yeah,
going out
exactly.
is more in. It's more
Yeah,
in because more meditation, more this, more that, and you fortify the system, right? You just
yeah,
give it more power, more to for your delusion, right?
yeah.
Uh,
It's like you're in
so
this
I
never-ending maze that just keeps recreating more tunnels and pathways. But
yeah,
actually, you can just turn around and see that there is no maze.
no maze, no
You know, because
maze.
the words just keep spinning more stories. Like they're so fleeting, they're so temporary. But because they're believed in by another thought, it just keeps creating more imagination and just digs deeper and deeper holes as you're trying to drill your way out of it. It just goes deeper, but it's only stories, it's only words,
Mm,
right? And words are all just made up,
right. And I
right?
suppose this, what I was telling you about the mind popping up and talking to you, that's normal, I guess, right? I mean,
Like about the
that,
peace and all that, you mean? Or
see,
about the
yeah,
concern
or
about going
no,
back into,
sometimes, when I wake up in the morning, for the first 15 minutes, I feel like I'm someone. You know
okay,
what I
yeah,
mean? I
yeah, yeah,
come from the night and the dreams, and
yeah.
then I wake up and I feel like the old me, you know.
Hmm. Hmm.
The mind starts talking me like if I was the mind,
Yeah.
and and then I have coffee, and then the other operating system takes over, right? And
After the
everything
coffee.
is after the coffee. The coffee is my
Yeah.
guru now. So the whole thing reestablished itself.
Yeah.
But I suppose, I mean, so many years believing what you're not, that we have to be patient, I guess, um, until all this other view is settled, right? That sometimes you find yourself for a few minutes or wherever
Yeah.
thinking that you're someone like
Yeah.
you were before, right? And then you just you just think, okay, I'm not that, right? You welcome it, but all of a sudden you say, well, I'm not that, right?
Yeah.
And you
Yeah.
and you drop it. I guess this is what one has to do, right, Trina?
Yeah. So don't make any of that a problem because
Mm,
it sounds like the clarity is like that there's a lot of clarity already and you can't unsee it. Once you see it, you can't unsee it, right? And so like the thoughts coming back or getting wrapped up again in identification, um, that's it too, right? Any attempt to try to control that or resist that or stop that from happening just brings you back into this illusion. Okay. So it's not about stopping the mind. It's not about getting to a perfect thought-free space. That will be a symptom, as the thoughts are continuously no longer believed in. Because there is no I for the thoughts, right? The thoughts say I, like I'm concerned I'm going to slip back into the depression, right? What will happen if I slip back into the depression? So a thought arises that says that, but where's the I right now that's concerned about that?
mhm,
It's just an empty thought,
mhm, mhm.
right?
Yeah.
And so the moment that you recognize, oh yeah, okay, I was in ruminate, I was in thought identification, nothing right or wrong about it at all. It's just life doing life. Boom, it's in the past. It's gone. It's over. It's seen through, right? So you could even think of it a little bit of like, you're strengthening a muscle just by continuously no longer believing in the thoughts. It's like if you have a friend that lies to you a lot and you want to believe them, but you've been burned too many times. You're like, okay, I'm not trusting this guy anymore. He owes me money. He didn't pay. He did this to me. And then like he comes back a couple months later. It's like, come on, like I got this cool
Mm,
business opportunity. And you're like, okay, okay, let's
mm,
see what happens. And then you're like, no, no. So it's okay that you get hooked back in. Like it sounds, but it really did come on quite strongly for you, right?
mm,
Sometimes it takes people a while to work it out and to constantly see. Like for me, it was much more gradual. But once you see it, you can't unsee it. Just notice when the mind's trying to go to the future,
mm,
right? Like what if the depression comes back? That's imagination again, right? That's how the mind will try to hook you, is to bring you
mhm,
into a story and bring you into the future. I have to safeguard myself so that
mhm,
what doesn't happen. I need to create a strategy so that doesn't happen. But
mhm,
then you're just back into it happening, right?
mhm.
So the very
Yeah.
thing that's trying to prevent you from going back into the separate self is the separate self. Do you know what I mean? So it's kind of like
Yeah.
just a dropping because and even like the the abiding, like don't even stress about that too much because this space is here always, right? It's your default setting. And it will just become more and more stronger the more the belief in the story is seen through. So it's not like you go there, it's like you are already it, just see through the story.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And when you say once it's seen through, cannot be unseen, right?
Hmm.
Even, I mean, if you're having a bad day, cannot be blurred or, do you understand what I mean?
Yeah.
That in, even if you have a bad day, it cannot be unseen, right?
Well, I mean, it it depends, right? But like
mm,
even if you have a bad day and you notice the mind is very active and it's catching
right,
you in story, like that's just what's happening. But now you're not
right,
believing it anymore. Now you're like, okay, that happened, but I see through it and I
mm,
continue to see through it each time it happens. I can make the choice. I can opt into the story or I can opt out. One is
mm,
suffering, one is peace. What
mm,
am I going to choose, right? It just makes sense to choose,
mm,
the peace.
mm,
So bad days can happen, you know, there can be, emotions that come up like you're having a human experience. Like it's normal. It's we have what we feel, right? It's okay. It's fine. But
mm,
you don't need the story about it. You don't need the story about the emotion and how am I going to fix this and what's going to happen in the future and this always happens to me. All that narration, take that, see that that's just trapping you
yeah.
in the sensation,
Yeah.
right? Like I always say, just go directly to the feeling, but take away the story.
That's very important what you're saying because I have such a background, related to depression,
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
that because that has been my my like leitmotif, right?
Yeah.
That the the narration of my life, and I'm a musician, I'm a
Oh, nice.
orchestral conductor, classical music, right? Yes,
Oh, wow.
all my life, and
Oh,
with
amazing.
music, and yeah, and
Beautiful.
I was every time I conducted the orchestra, that was the only medicine I had available, right? That really worked because I was having, a tremendous depression, but I had to go on stage at a certain time, a certain day, and I don't know, God knows how I put myself back into movement and went there and gave myself up. It just it was like I was incinerating myself. Giving everything for music but from I mean when I stepped into the stage, I was having this incredible depression. After the concert, the depression was gone, right? And gone for several days, right? That was, you know, the power of the music erasing for a few days all that suffering, right? Because it was like an atomic bomb, right? Following falling into your head. But after a few days, the depression came back over and over. So for there was a time in my life that I thought music would cure me from this from this problem, right? Existential problem. And but after a while, I realized that music, not even music, could cure me from this disease, right? And
Yeah.
after what happened, listening to you, uh, because sometimes I was listening to you and I had to stop it, you know, you know, one sentence, and I had to stop it too much to digest at the
Yeah.
moment,
Yeah.
slowly, step by step, because this doesn't talk to the mind. It goes through another circuit, right?
Yeah.
And so when I heard you, I realized that the only disease human beings have is this idea of the I, right? That's the real disease, right? And I was a few months ago, I was having problems with alcohol, trying to escape from myself until I realized there was no way I was gonna there was no way out through alcohol either, or drugs, but I tried every
Yeah.
human possible way to escape from myself, and and I failed. Even the spiritual, I gave it a very good shot to spirituality. All
Yeah.
the living masters and all the money, I threw it all for this salvation. And but no wonder I couldn't succeed, right? Because I was targeting the wrong disease, right? I
Yeah.
thought the problem was alcohol. I thought the problem was depression, but outside problems outside the problem, and this amazing capacity of the ego to mask its existence in front of our eyes, right, in plain sight. It's an incredible spell, right? That wow, how come I didn't realize this before? But it's so well hidden, right? So
Yeah.
well hidden
Yeah.
that you cannot conceive nothing other than that. I
Yeah.
mean, it's an incredible, it's another miracle, right?
Yeah,
and
it
and
is.
it's another awful miracle. But after what happened this a few weeks, I realized, for the first time, I faced the only human possible disease, an addiction. It's addiction
Yeah.
to I, addiction to me, to my. That's the very first and only addiction, and from which it sprouts, springs the other addictions. But
Yeah.
the root addiction is it's this, and
Yeah.
until you tackle this root idea, there's no hope. There's
Yeah.
no there's so many attempts for nothing. That's why I'm so grateful to you that you were pointing out to the disease, not to the branches of the disease or different expressions of the disease, but the disease itself.
Yeah, and the crazy thing is when you actually look at what's wrong, you look at the original problem, there's nothing behind it. It's just an illusion of the eye, but there's actually nothing there. But from that one miss piece of ignorance, everything else sprouts up. But when you go straight to it, what is I? What are you without the past and the future right now?
Yeah,
What are
that's
you
one of the
without
sentences.
language?
Yeah, that's something that hit me very badly when you said that. It was like, the narrowing of a way to escape, right? When you were talking
Yeah,
about who are you without your past, I mean, it's like netty netty, right? I mean, Jesus Christ, where is this woman taking me to? And
yeah,
it's you're singling out the root, and then we stay in front of you naked, right? There
yeah,
is a point that I felt this nakedness, right? That
yeah,
no way, there's no way, nowhere to go. You're just looking backwards to your mind, not outwards, just for things. And who would have thought that the idea of I was a thing?
right, exactly.
It's a thing. It's not. Who would have thought?
Yeah,
It's a thing.
right.
Who would have thought? I
W-
personally, I don't think that I could figure it out myself. I mean, I'm not so smart, you know.
Yeah. Yeah, it's just an it's but it's still an assumption, right? It's still a word, it's still a concept. So
Yeah.
did this clarity, did it happen on the TikTok live that like kind of descended or after?
I'm not sure if I understand you.
When you had this like avalanche of peace, was that
Yes.
during the TikTok live or was that
No.
after?
No. No. It came after.
Yeah.
But
Okay.
I was already writing down. several sentences um, that were hitting me badly, badly, and but it has been maybe since I started listening to you a month and a half,
Okay. Yeah.
and I was attracted to these lives and also your videos in YouTube and different things. But but I don't know. It was like a maturing process, right? I mean, like when the fruit is ripe and you assist to the moment in which the fruit just
Yeah.
drops off, right? And but uh, but it was, you know, in between in between these meetings. But it has been like no more than 3 weeks that I experienced this radical change of vision, right?
Yeah.
And I started resting, resting for the first time in my life. I had other, I don't know what was with me that when I went to this meditation, I I have, I don't know, my system had the uh, ability to have these samadhis, you know, samadhis,
Hmm.
that my mind stopped completely for a month or for 2 months, right? And I thought that that was going to be permanent. That was
Hmm.
it, right?
Hmm.
Until the day that the mind claimed its territory, and the party was over, right?
Yeah.
And but I had many throughout my life, many samadhis. You know, some some samadhis lasted 2 months, weeks, or but that was very disturbing also because
Yeah.
I couldn't handle it properly, and it was such a contrast with the deep depression to these
Yeah.
samadhis back and forth that now it has nothing to do with me. That's the
Yeah.
liberation, and
Yeah.
that's why I'm experiencing this peace in a very calm and peaceful right way in which you are not invited. You are just an actor of the show, part of the show, right? The action figure, right?
Yeah.
This
Yeah.
body mind, but it's like such a resting sensation from which you are available. That's also what I felt. I felt you're available for the moment, for this
Yeah.
instant. You are available 100%, not 60%, 70, 100% available, and that's such a joy, right? Because you're always on. One sentence that killed me that you said, and we're finishing. Uh, you said realize that you're always on. You cannot shut it off.
Yeah.
You said
Yeah.
that you're on, and you cannot shut it off. And I said, okay, what is that it's on all the time, and why I cannot shut it off? I mean, this thing that it's on all the time cannot be me, right?
Yeah.
And that's you know, as I told you, you enter my life like a hacker, right? And the whole system was torn apart, right? And I cannot be more thankful. So I really thank you so much, and hopefully, I'll be in touch because as I told you, I feel like a little baby, a newborn baby, just taking one step at a time, and I'm sure I'll have to double check with you in the following weeks and days. So
Yeah.
I'm glad you're offering these one-on-one sessions, So I'll be in
Um,
touch, Trina, because I don't know if need you more now than before, but I'm sure your guidance it's going to be present in my life. Hopefully, if you are available, and
yeah.
I am very 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 grateful and happy. So we'll be in touch, Trina.
Amazing. Oh, this is so wonderful to hear. I'm
Yes,
so happy for you and I'm so honored
yes,
to
mm,
yeah, to share this message with others. And yeah, I definitely continue I plan to continue on doing this work and growing it and spreading
yes,
this these
yes.
pointings
No,
and yeah, so I'll
I'm
be here if
just
you need anything.
your time and your effort, are coming across the Atlantic to Spain and so many places, right?
Yeah.
So it's you seem that that you do your thing humbly, and but your words are very powerful. So thanks so much for being available. Thank
You're
you, Trina.
welcome.